Hey, everybody, welcome to another edition of the MURCA Guns and Freedom Podcast with your host, me, the Yankee Marshal. As always, I don't decide what you all need to hear. I let you all decide what I should talk about. So if you got any questions, put them in the chat. Send them to me via email or do a super chat. I will try to address them. You can suggest topics you just want to hear my opinion on, whatever. It doesn't have to be gun related. Like I said, there's multiple ways you can ask me. Put it in the live chat, put out the Yankee Marshal in front of it so I can have a chance of seeing it. Better yet, send me an email at shootingleftofcenter@gmail.com. That way you can include pictures. We can do show and tell. If you want to do a super chat, get answered with priority, there's two different ways you can do that. If it's a $2, $5 chat, just use the YouTube super chat. Makes it look like we're having some business for them over here so that they don't get rid of me so quick, and gives us things I can show the viewers so I can show them what you're saying. If you want to do more than $5, well, then use the link at the top of the chat window where it says Pets and Vets Super Chat and Custom Grip Giveaway. You can do super chats through there. There's a link at the top of the page, or you can join the grip giveaway if you want to get entries into that, and we'll do that as soon as we get 10 entrants into the grip giveaway. I think I'm going to scrap the Sunday, Wednesday thing. I don't know how to figure it out to make that work right. So I don't know. But as I was saying, ask whatever you want. I'll try to answer it. And pay attention to the live chat. People in there might have answers for you. And you can have some conversations and build some friendships, whatever you want to do. It's up to you. As always, I like to start the chat by reading if we got any orders over the last 24 hours. And we did. We got one. It was from Edgar Cortez. What'd he get? He got a Eeyore t-shirt, the one Guns Make Me So Happy. I wish they made me happy right now. Like I said, I'm in a funk. So thanks to him for that order. Also, as always, I want to announce, and the AI can clip this if they want to. If you want to buy some merchandise, go on over to my website, tympistolproject.com. You can see it right here. And if you go over there, you can go right here and you can click on the click here for full merch selection. And you can go over to my website and you can get t-shirts like the La Pew Pew, the political reform with Godzilla, the I support the right to arm bears, the guns don't kill people, the government does, all kinds of shirts, all kinds of designs on flags, mugs, hats, hoodies, camp mugs, whatever you want to buy it on. All sales go to help the Pets and Vets program and other programs we run like Handguns for Heroes and TYMP. So go on over there, buy you some merch. With that being said, let me stop showing that and get to the questions. All right. Where are the questions? I'm prone to brief bouts of less depression. Yeah, I'm just, my mom is manic depressive, and I think I got a little of that because I am prone to very happy, and then I get these little short bouts of minor depression. And they can come out of nowhere for no reason. Doesn't take anything to really set them off. It's just, and you're like, why am I today? Nothing's bad. Well, nothing happened. Well, today I did have to spend $400 putting new sway bar on my son's car, but other than that, nothing bad. So I don't know. It just happens. You just get. Luckily, that's not bad enough. I need medication for it or anything. It just happens. It lasts sometimes a week, and you just feel. Johnny Mandrick said 6'7", which I guess it means nothing. I had no clue what it meant, but I guess it means nothing. I see now why a lot of teachers are like, you cannot say 6'7" in my classroom because it's annoying, especially annoying from like octogenarians like Johnny Mandrick. Practical Bacon says, have you tried putting any pins in the handles of guns without removable grips? Yes. No, I haven't, but yes, I'm going to. Like I say, I have this STI grip here that I got nothing to do with, so I might as well test it, try to put a pin in it, see how it turns out. And I've also got an old P320 or P250, I think it actually is, grip down there I can practice on. So I might try to do something like that. Might. A nominal snowman says, will you sell me the 96 EFK Sig barrel? No. No. Those are like gold. Those are worth their weight in platinum. I ain't selling that. I don't need any money that bad. You might want to wait till I need money bad, because I ain't not now. P-Gar chimed in and said, Welper, thank you for slapping the yank last night. Excellent work. Well, we don't call it slapping anymore. We call it spanking. And I think he was disrespectful to challenge me. Someone sent in a comment last night after that about, who are you? We should take your opinion on anything. And let me go on record right now saying once again, as I have said 1,000 times, why you should listen to me when I say something. And the answer is, you shouldn't really. As I've said 100 times, anything I say or anybody else says, verify. If you can't verify it, don't pay attention to it. And if I say something you agree with or disagree with, especially if I say something you disagree with, research it. See if I'm right or I'm wrong. If I say something you agree with, research it twice as hard. Don't let your confirmation bias sway you. Research it twice as hard and see if either one of us is right. So, because the only thing worse than someone being wrong and then being contradicted by someone who's right is two people who are wrong reaffirming each other's wrongness. So, as I've said 1,000 times on this channel, don't ever take anything, unless it's just about me or my own personal experiences. You can't challenge that. Like someone will ask you, what do you think is the best this? And then people will challenge you on it. I was like, you don't get to challenge me on my opinion. But when it comes to facts, always verify. So, that being said, let's move on. I think that's it for the super chats over here. I think I got some over here to get to in the emails. Johnny Mandrick says, if I sent in a grip module, is this Johnny Mandrick? Yes. For the SIG P320, could you put pins in that? Probably, yes. I'm going to try anyway. I'm definitely going to try. Jay Lugo says, hey, Yankee, you got any J-frame grips you don't need? I'm 3 for 3. I sent back grips from Hogue. Can't find any at big box and local shops. Don't have any. Not a huge waste of day. Got to look at guns. J-frame grips are hard to come by right now. I got one pair of wooden ones that's a one piece. Where is that? It might be sitting right here because I might have been cleaning it. Oh, yeah. Like I got stuff like this. But these are Hogues. If you didn't like the Hogues, you wouldn't like those. So yeah. So no, I guess would be the answer. Then Jay Lugo also said, so I got pulled over today. Oh, shame on you. Are you legal? So pay your tithe, save your single wide. I haven't paid in a few days and I got pulled over. That's what happens. So Phil's always watching. Also, we aren't a support group. We are enablers. Well, that's the thing people forget. We are not a support group. So I should probably make that as an announcement. I should probably say right now, for anybody out there who's coming here looking for help dealing with your addiction to gun purchasing or anything like that, shooting, etc., you're not going to get that here. We are not a support group. This is not Gun Owners Anonymous. This is Gun Owners Support Group, where we support you to buy more guns and shoot more and do everything else. We are enablers, not therapists. We are not trying to fix you. We think you're fine the way you are. Spend your money on your guns. Is that it for the super chats? It might be. It is. So let's get to emails. Shadow said, would you want this gun designed to shoot around corners with stuffed cat to disguise it? Forgotten Weapons has video about it. Not really. No, I wouldn't want it. I don't want to shoot anybody around a corner. If someone's around a corner that I can shoot, I could probably run away. Unless, of course, I'm trapped in like a blind alley or something. And, you know, I'd have to climb a fence to get out or something. I ain't doing that. Then I'd maybe want it, but I don't think I'd have it on me because, well, why would I carry that around or anything? So probably no would be my answer to that. Here's another super chat from Johnny Mandrick says, is there anything you are looking for from SHOT Show? Nothing that, like I said, though, I'm not in the mood right now. Guns aren't appealing to me right now, except for stuff I can't have, unfortunately, like some of the cool shotguns from Turkey that I won't buy on principle. But there's not really anything I'm super excited about at SHOT Show. When some of the biggest news coming out of SHOT Show is about FRTs, well, then there's not a whole lot going on gun-wise. When the biggest gun news you've seen so far is a 44 Magnum Rhino, probably not a whole lot going on gun-wise. So I don't know that anything I'm particularly looking for. And there isn't anything like I've been like, wow, you know what? They need to make this, but they need to make it in that. So, yeah, I don't really even know if there's anything I'm looking forward to at SHOT Show or not. Can you please make me a set with the Jack Skellington pin for me, please? I'll pay for them. Well, I'll have to order more Jack Skellingtons. I only bought 2 of them. I'll have to order more. Big J said, what's the best 40 cal handgun for under $800? I have had the SD40 and want something better. Well, Glock. The Glock 23 is an awesome gun for that. The M&P, they make the 40 M&P. The best 40 caliber gun is probably like the SIG P229. You could find a used one for under $800. It's not even that hard to find one in great condition for under $800. But if you're looking at new, I mean, FN makes a really nice little 40. But I'd say, and if you're wanting a double action, single action, try to find yourself a Beretta 96. That would be a good find, and you can get that for $800. So that's what would be my suggestions. Those right there. P-Gar says, are there any budget full-size body-on-frame SUVs anymore? Full-size body-on-frame? Well, isn't the Suburban a body-on-frame? The Tahoe, is Tahoe body-on-frame? I think the Tahoe's body-on-frame. Oops, I misspelled Tahoe. Yeah, the Tahoe. That would probably be my top choice for body on frame, or maybe the GMC version. What is it? The Yukon. Yes, the Yukon is what I'd probably go for. I like that Yukon. I rented one to go to the beach when my niece was here with her children, with my great niece and great nephew. I loved it. I enjoyed driving that car. That was a good car. I liked it. And I did some highway miles, did some quick driving in it because the kids wanted me to spin out in the parking lot and wanted me to do donuts in a gravel parking lot with it. And I'm like, it's a rental. So sure, I bought the insurance. So it was fun. I had a good time with it. Now, it was the XL. So it was the extra long. So if I got one, I wouldn't get the XL. I'd get the standard. Still can have 3 rows, whatever. But I don't really need 3 rows and a lot of luggage space. If I'm using 3 rows, we're just traveling for like sightseeing with family. So I would get it without the XL. But yeah, the Tahoe is awesome. The Yukon is awesome. And for people who don't know, just in case you're someone out there who doesn't know what body on frame means, most cars nowadays, the chassis is the rigid part of the vehicle. It's, everything is just attached to a unibody or a chassis or whatever. They don't have that's the frame and the body are kind of combined. in a body on frame, they build a frame, a platform. That's the rigid ladder structure. And then they just sit a body down on it. Like you've ever seen the old assembly lines where the wheels and stuff are rolling through and they got the big ladder on them and everything. And then they just lower a body onto it. That's a body on frame. It's getting rare. They are a little loosey goosey compared to like bodies with like a rigid unibody or something. Well, they're trucks. Jay Lugo chimed in here again, says, I sent back the rubber slip-on grips and mango grips or mono grips from Hogue. Those wood ones look great if they can fire a 642. 642, I'll take them. Well, yeah, sure you would. Sure, you take my expensive grips. I think these are J-frame. I don't think these are for the. I'll have to check, but I think so. Let's see here. Where was we at? I think that's the last of the super chats and emails. How many? Someone wants to know how many we got entered into the grip drawing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we take a couple more to do a drawing tonight. Wow, someone must see something on the site that I just put up that they're wanting if they're worried about doing it tonight. I broke my magnifying glasses. I got to get new ones. The ones I have to use to see when I'm working on the grips and stuff, I got to get new ones. I broke it. I had to like hold the piece last night and do stuff. I had to get my readers out here so I could see. But the readers don't have magnification really. They're just, I guess, readery. I don't know. They don't have much magnification. It's like 1.2 or something. I got another email here that's got a picture that I want to share. Stop screen, share screen, window, boom, boom. Yankee, I could imagine you ordering this hot dog at KFC. No, that's gross. International KFC locations are going viral for serving a fried chicken hot dog. No. If someone handed me one of these and said, here you go, I would throw the hot dog away and just eat that chicken. But I don't want that. Now I want KFC, though. I should have made Caden go get KFC. He's bringing home pizza. I should have had him bring home KFC. Emotional support. Someone just sent me a picture of an email with a share screen, window. Oops, I didn't open it. Let me open it. Keith Borders sent, I guess this is a sign. Is this a sign? What is this? Emotional support animal. Animal's one of my favorite Muppets, so I wouldn't mind having that. Let's see here. Let me make sure we got no more super chats or anything coming in that I've missed. I don't see anything. Jay Lugo, I got that. I got all the super chats over here. So we are all caught up and ready to move on with the live chat. Where are we? Let me get up here and see if I got what we got coming in through the live chat. Hold on, let me refresh over here, make sure we're caught up on everything. Looks like we're caught up. All right. Let's get over here to the live chat. How far up can it go? Roger Dion Hughes. Someone's trying to ask questions without putting. Do you have a favorite hockey team? No, I don't follow professional sports anymore. I don't care about it. It's a distraction. It's fucking gladiator games to keep people from paying attention to important stuff. And sports are kind of like religion. You know, It's not so much the sports, it's the people who follow them that are annoying. The people that are really into them, I'm like, why are you so excited? You didn't fucking catch that ball. I haven't really followed. I used to play hockey a long time ago for like one season, junior season. I was not good at it. They put me at goalie because didn't have to skate as much. And I hated that fucking crab walk that put your knees down and you skate. Ugh, hurts. I don't like it. Plus, I got tired taking pucks to the neck and chest. So let's get over here to the chat again. Help me find a new carry gun. Well, I ain't gonna come with you shopping or nothing if that's what you're asking. I got things to do. I don't got that much free time. I want double action, single action, semi-automatic, small, and I have to be able to change the grips, either 9mm or 10mm. The only thing I can think of is CZ Rammy. Well, CZ Rammy is an option. I'm not a big fan of the CZ Rammy myself. I mean, it's good, but it just doesn't seem like a small gun. It's got kind of like a small gun footprint, but not a small gun feel. And I don't know, really. It's kind of thick. Ever thought about finding a SIG P239? A SIG P239 would be awesome. But small. I don't really have a lot of semi-autos that are in the P40s, not P40s, the Walther. What are those fucking things called? What's I don't remember, but yeah, I would say a P239 would be my choice over a Rammy, but I don't know. I'd get a CZ compact before I got a Rammy. I mean, there's not a whole lot of, or an SPO1. I'd get an SPO1 before I got a Rammy. But yeah, that would be what I would do. Let's see here. Where are we at? Thoughts on Iran's situation right now? Well, to be honest, I don't care. I hope they rebel and storm the Capitol and kill every one of the fucking supreme leaders and his cabinet and then everybody else, all the religious leaders. I hope they drag every one of them out in the street and hang them. Because that's Iran's biggest problem, is that they're a religious nation. Just like, how a lot of people on the right want this to be a Christian nation. That's the same problem we would have, the ones Iran has. I don't really care. I hope they succeed. I hope they actually overthrow the government. Now, as far as us getting involved, I don't want us to get involved. I'm tired of doing regime change. Let the people change their own regime. When we change it, we own it, and then it never turns out good. So, not a fan of that. Let's see here. Hold on. I got to check something. Someone's saying something here. Let's see if I can find it over here. They're still not updating stuff on PayPal for some reason. It's really behind, and I don't like it. Yeah, it's still way behind. Let me see. Let me look here. Ryan McFarland said, I sent a super chat about the Beretta 96. Hold on. Let me look and see if I can find it. Hold on. Where do I find this? There we go. Jay Lugo, John Mandrick, Jay Lugo, John and Mandrick, Jay Lugo, John and Mandrick, Ryan McFarland. Here it is. Nope, that's a grip giveaway entry. It's this one that was before it. That is the question. All right, here it is. Yes, I thought I opened that. Did it get closed accidentally? But here's a question from Ryan McFarland. Beretta 96D, can you do all the same trigger jobs to it as the regular 92, 96? If not, what can be done to the trigger staining on an inox stainless steel version. Staining on a. Can those be polished out? Well, if it's stainless steel, you can definitely. It depends on what the staining is. Usually on stainless steel, the staining is more surface, something on the surface, than it is an actual anything get into the metal or anything. So yeah, it's usually not a problem. It's usually like old solvents and old grease and stuff, lubricants and stuff, just gunked on it. But as far as the 96D versus the others, that's just the decocker, right? It's been so long since I've seen a 96D. 96D. Now that's the double action only. That's what that is. So, well, as far as it being the double action only, well, there's going to be some things, of course, that are different. You're not going to be able to do all the same things you could do to a double action. Single action, the internal mechanism is going to be completely different, because on the double action only, there's no sears. When you cock the hammer back or any of that stuff, the springs are different. So it's not going to be exactly the same. And I don't understand. I don't even really know what you're asking about all the same things, because what do you really do to a regular 92, 96 trigger wise, other than maybe put an upgraded trigger bar or something in it? And I would think it would probably take, well, I don't know. I know I've got some stuff that says not for the 92, not for D models. So I don't think you can transfer everything across, but I think trigger bar would be able to. So, because that's just, the trigger bar is the double action trigger bar. So I would think you could change trigger bar, but what else would you do? I mean, triggers, trigger bar, not much of people change on the 92, 96 really. So unless you're like really getting into something specific, but so I'm not real sure what you're asking about. What could you do? But not sure. I would check into that. Loaded up some max charge 40 for the shingles. For the shingles? 180 grain, clocking in right at 1200 FPS. Shooting them out of the Beretta 96 was nice. They were somewhat snappy out of the USP. It kind of made me realize something. HK handguns are kind of overrated. The MK23 USP P2000 are the most aesthetically pleasing polymer pistols, but they don't shoot that great. I think they shoot fine for a polymer gun. They're not great because they're polymer guns, but as far as polymer guns go, they're fine. They are a little overrated. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Eagle. Let someone send me a picture of it. This Keith Borders guy just sent me a picture, and this is what he sent me. An eagle and a flag and a cross. So I don't know why he sent me that. I'm not interested in that. It's pretty. I like sparkly things. So Clinton Barella got an entry into the grip drawing. And you can stand under his Barella. Barella. All right, here what are we doing here? Texas Ranger guns. Thought you might like the Smith & Wesson and the Colt from the Texas Ranger Museum. I went to Austin, Texas. Let's see, share the picture here for people. This was sent in by Eric Molnar. Doesn't that sound like the name of some sort of alien bad guy in a movie like Emperor Molnar? But here's the picture. See if I can zoom in a little bit. You people take horrible pictures, but that Colt there is awful pretty. I mean, that Smith & Wesson ain't ugly, but that Colt is awful pretty. I like to have that Colt there. Of course, when have I ever seen a Colt I didn't want? But Jay Lugo said, Just checked my bin of gun crap. Found some grips who know if they will fit. I really like carrying my 642. I did look up VZ grips. Any experience? Oh, yeah, VZ makes great grips. VZ grips are awesome. A lot of the grips I give away are VZ grips because I just had them laying around and I used them to make custom grips. I've used up like all my spare grips. I used to have tons of spare grips laying around, and I've used up almost all of them making custom grips. Plus, then ordered dozens. As you can see, even on the site right now, there's tons. Speaking of which, I can do a little presentation real fast, just since we're at the halfway point in the chat. If you're someone who likes custom grips, especially one-of-a-kind custom grips, feel free to go over to my website, tympistolproject.com, and you can go over there. And if you go to the top of my page right there, you'll see where you can do your live chats and your grip giveaway entry. But if you go down, you can actually see the grips that are available. And I actually added a bunch of grips today. I added some Shaggy Scooby 1911 compacts. I added a Batman Joker CZ75 compact. I added a Bigfoot full-size 1911, a Wolfman 9296 grip, Shaggy Scooby CZ comps, also a Batman Joker 92X or Vertec grip there. So all of these that you see are available right now. So if you go over and you enter that, it goes to the Pets and Vets Fund, and you get an entry to win a set of grips. So feel free to go over there, do that, and then you get to choose the ones you want. And if I don't have grips that you want for a gun, like maybe you don't have a gun that any of these fit, well, one, you can either choose one and then buy a gun to go with it, or you can let me know, and if we can find the grips at a reasonable price, or you've got grips laying around you can send me, I will find what character it is you want put on it, and I will put it on it for you and make it custom and send it to you. But you have to win first. I don't do custom orders or anything. But there are some people, when they win, they ask, hey, can you do it on this grip instead and put this emblem on it? And that I'm okay with. But if you want to get entries, go on over my website, sign up for the grip entry drawing. It's only $5 for an entry, $10 for 3 entries, $20 for 7. And like I said, it all goes to the Pets and Vets program. So you help and save the lives of animals in need, and maybe winning some pretty cool, if I do say so myself, one-of-a-kind custom grips. So that ends that. I hope the AI clipped that. They never clipped the stuff I wanted to clip. Let's see here. I think we just saw. Oh, Clinton Barella sent in a super chat. He said, thoughts on Beretta getting a 10% interest in Ruger, good thing or bad thing? Well, it depends on how you look at it, I guess. If you're someone that's like, I don't like foreign companies taking over American gun makers, well, then it could be bad because, they're foreign. But, I mean, I like Beretta, and I like everything Beretta has done recently, pretty much. I like the direction of their company. I like how they run their company. So I like that. Plus, maybe Beretta will eventually do some collaborations with Ruger on some revolvers, because they own the company that makes the Manhuron. People think, oh, the Beretta is just importing them. No, Beretta owns the company. I forget the name of the company that makes the Manhurons, but Manhuron. Beretta owns that. So maybe they'll do some collaboration, some cross stuff with Beretta, with Ruger. I'd love to see that. So I hope it's a positive. I'm going to keep my fingers crossed that it's positive. All right, let's get back over to the live chat. What is Phil thinking about what happened with the oil situation right now? Phil don't give two shits. Like I said, Phil does not care. He is not an involved God. The only thing he cares about is that you don't piss him off and you try to help animals. Because he don't really care much for people. He's kind of like me in that aspect. So I guess I'm made in Phil's image, except I have a lot less appendages. But I've only got 4. Well, 5 if you count one, but it should count. Also, as I was saying, he don't really care about people. He don't care what we do. He knows that eventually, because people always talk about, we're going to destroy the planet. No, we're not going to destroy the planet. We're going to make the planet uninhabitable for us and most of the animals on it. Hopefully we do it in a way that kills us off first. But the planet will survive and it'll repopulate, and new species will evolve and stuff, unless you're a biblical person, and then you're like, oh, that don't happen. But yeah, he sees the big picture. And plus, Earth is only one of billions and billions of planets he has to pay attention to. So the only time you really piss him off is if you don't pay your tithe. And people don't pay their tithes anymore. So he's going to be pretty pissed. That's why someone got pulled over yesterday. Maybe they should have paid their tithe. They paid it now, so they don't have to get in trouble again. Let's see, where are we at? I think I got everything caught up over here. Did I put that on? Oh, yeah, okay. Yes, we are all caught up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're at 9 on the. I said it was going to be 12, but everybody keeps harassing me about it being 10. So I was if I'd have to give away less grips if I made it 12. So we might switch to 12, but we'll do 10 for now. Let's see here. Let me get back over to the chat. Are you E.F. Hutton? Who the fuck's E.F. Hutton? So I don't think so, since I don't know who it is. If someone doesn't want your opinion, then why in the hell do they even want to watch your show? Oh, because they hate on me. They like to hate on you. They like to give you shit, talk about how stupid you are, how ugly you are, all that stuff. Like, I don't know that already. See, that shows I'm not that stupid, because I understand how stupid I am. When you're truly stupid, you don't understand that. Who's this? Emmanuel Fernandez says, Welber doesn't know how to debate. Well, I don't think he came in with a preset plan. I mean, I don't really either. I always just like to get people flustered and watch what they do, which is one of the reasons why you shouldn't pay too much attention to me, because I like to get people flustered. But I'm sure if he had time to sit down and set out a plan of attack and set his points and his counterpoints, and it'd be different. Who's this? We got one more entry into the grip drawing. They got one entry, Justin Evans. So I guess we'll be doing a grip drawing tonight, since you all say 10. There's a lot of ones on here. I don't like it when there's a lot of ones. But luckily there's Edgar Cortez and stuff that made it, and Johnny D or Johnny Mandrick, Mikey D. They don't got one. Pete Gar says, do you have a tire selection for winter driving in an SUV? I don't really, because I don't really buy winter tires, because where we're at, it doesn't snow much here. It only snows up here at our elevation, and you drive 50 yards down the road and it's not snowing anymore. And winter tires are terribly uncomfortable, especially on cars like Mustangs, etc. So I don't bother with that. I keep good all-season tires on the truck, and I keep cables in the truck so that I can put them on there, drive a mile down the road, then there's no snow anymore, and I can take them off. So up here, we don't really need hardcore winter tires. It's like people say, I will run studs all year. I'm like, you live in Vancouver. Why would you want to run studs? We'll give you a terrible drive, tear up your ball joints, your sway bar connections, everything else, and you don't need it. So I don't really do winter tires. I just count on having cables to get me down to where it ain't snowing no more, and then go from there. And we've got 1, 2, 3 all-wheel drive vehicles, and the truck is 4-wheel drive. It'll just go anywhere. So whenever it's snowing, we just use the truck. Whenever anybody's got to go anywhere, they take the truck. The old 96 Silverado 2500. It goes anywhere. Big J says, have you heard the theory that Trump will start a war to stay in power in 2028 or before? I've heard it, but whether I believe it or not, it's another thing. Do I go, that couldn't happen here? No, of course not. But do I think it's going to happen? A lot of the things that come out of Trump's mouth, and the reason people are saying that's because he said it himself. When Zelensky was in the Oval Office, he said, if the U.S. is at war, I could suspend the election. I'm like, why would a president say anything like that? His dementia is getting ahead of him. But yeah, I've heard it. I don't know if I don't really think it's a highly likely thing, but I've heard it. We got another entry into the Pets and Vets grip giveaway from Jude Resignola. I haven't seen that name in a long time. Jude Resignola. He got 3 entries. Ooh. So we're going to at least make a decent profit off these grips for the Pets and Vets program. I haven't lost any money on any yet. Close. Close. We've had ones where I've only made like $20, but haven't made any yet to where we went into the negative, although I see it coming in. I guess technically, though, I've got a lot of them. Why is that still up there? How long has that been up? That grip picture. Good God. People got to remind me to take stuff down. Where was Welper? I wish that was something you could give a power to a monitor to do things like change your camera thing and stuff, because I would need that. But what was I saying? Where were we at? I came over here to talk about something, and then I noticed those grip pictures was up, and I lost my. Oh, I was saying I have all those grips there, the ones I was just showing, these ones that haven't done anything yet. So I guess I'm really in the hole on all of them, because I'm in the hole a lot. I'm several $100s down. But if we gave all those away, we wouldn't be. We'd be up. So I just do it by the grip, not by total investment. Total investment, I'm screwed. But per grip that I've given away, we've made a profit at least $20 on each one of them. Doesn't cover my labor, but still, $20 is $20. A lot of people done a lot worse for $20. It takes me a couple hours to do a set of grips. Ghost Shadow 2 says, saying that your Alzheimer's is getting worse. Oh, I don't have Alzheimer's. I'm just scatterbrained. It's part of my autism. And I'm like a classic case of it. It's all the stuff that goes with it. I don't like to be around crowds. I don't like to talk face to face to people. I don't like, I can't stand, silence when I'm going to bed at night. I have to have noise in the background to distract me from my inner monologue. I talk to myself all the time because it helps you center your thoughts when you've got an overactive mind. But one of the bad things about an overactive inner dialogue is you ignore other stuff because of it. You forget things. And it's like when I'm doing stuff like this and I'm going back and forth. By the time I look here and then look back over here, I've already thought of 3 things in my head that made me forget what I was thinking a minute ago. I take my meds, but I'm still not quite right. Dwayne White, why do we get a flood of people joining now? Dwayne White also got some grip entries just now. Boom. Now suddenly we're getting a flood. All righty. Where are we at? I think I've lost my place over here. I've lost my place. EFK actually has that stuff in stock now, a full-size USP 357 SIG barrel and a P2000 SK 357 Pig barrel. Those are worth as much as the guns themselves. Yes, they are. Someone in this chat got pulled over by the cops and they didn't pull a move like the lady got shot in Minnesota. I doubt the cop rushed up to her. I doubt the guy rushed up to her door in a mask or their door in a mask and started screaming, "Get out of the fucking car," and tried to open their door. If that had happened, it might have gone differently, but that probably didn't happen to them. I saw that Magpul has a new brown collar. Oh, exciting. Nothing more exciting like a new collar. And also, if you're going to do a new collar, what could be more exciting than brown? Beige, I guess, maybe. I'm boycotting SHOT Show until HK remakes the P2000 and P2000 SK in 10 millimeter. Well, then you're probably not going to go SHOT Show. And I'm sure SHOT Show is so sad about that. I'm sure they're sitting around going, you know what? We need a little more crazy. When you going to shave that geriatric cousin it shit off your face? That beard going to connect to your eyebrows before you croak? Yeah, it will. I have to shave my forehead by these parts right here. It does grow up to my, it looks like a wolf man. It goes through here and I have to shave this or else it grows together with my chest hair. So, which my chest hair is mostly gray now. That's not good. Someone my age shouldn't have gray chest hair. I'm only 39, as far as I know. Did you hear about the fraud in Maine where money raised for the bowling alley massacre victims went to 7 different Somali-run businesses? No, I didn't hear it, but I don't doubt that a lot of Somalis are scammers. I mean, isn't that what they do in their country a lot? Scam shit. It's like kind of like India. Like someone told me some India. Did you hear some Indians trying to rip some people off on? I'm like, am I supposed to be surprised? So I don't give money to these things. So I say all the time, whenever I see these, we're raising money for this person. You know, if they're not doing it themselves, then I'm not giving to it. Because everybody can go out and start their own. It's like when people come in and say, hey, will you give to this GoFundMe? They're raising money for this. I'm like, nah, only if it's the GoFundMe is being run by the people who need the money, or if the person running the GoFundMe is somebody I know, that I know will give them the money. So I don't do that stuff. Plus, now we don't have the money to do it anyway, so it doesn't matter. But the SPO1 is full size. You mean the PO1? Yeah, the PO1. There's a new bill in Washington state that would make it illegal to investigate daycare centers for fraud. It's a daycare security bill. It doesn't make it illegal to, the one I saw didn't make it illegal to investigate daycare centers for fraud. It made it illegal to show up at daycare centers and try to tape record people's children. So I don't know. There might be a different one, but for some strange reason, Portland's police chief was crying about ICE agents shooting 2 trimmed Agua gang members. Yeah, I don't really cry when ICE shoots gang members. I'm like, you got to be careful who you defend. Now, I understand that if you're someone who's a total dedicated to stick to your guns, if they don't have authority to do something, they shouldn't. If they didn't give someone due process, they should have. But choose your battles. I mean, it's like with Trump taking Maduro out of power. Do you really want to defend Maduro? It's like there's a comment on Instagram, and let's see if I can find it. I made a comment, and a lot of people just attacked me over it. Let me go to Instagram here. Let me see if I can find the comment. Usually there's a reaction to it somewhere recently. I put up one last night that everybody's throwing a fit over. I put this one up last night. Hold on. Share screen window. I put this one up last night. It says, don't tread on me, 2020, don't tread on me, 2025, comply or die. You know, and I'm like, that's been the shift in the gun community, and people are not happy about that. They're throwing a fit. They're defending their Gestapo. But where's the one? Where's what I was actually looking for? As you can see, mostly it's that thing getting comments. But let's see, where is it that? No, that was when I said this one. This picture here. I don't know if you can hear it, but what they're talking about is they're like, ICE arrested Diego Hernandez, 42, an illegal alien from Mexico with multiple convictions for DUI and repeated illegal reentry into the U.S. And this guy is going on defending him. Well, they picked him up and look at how they're making him look here. They're making him look disheveled and blah, blah, blah. And they're doing this as a way to demonize Hispanic people. And I'm like, really? Do you want to really come on here and say that, known alcoholics are never disheveled unless it's staged? And two, someone who's been convicted, not accused, convicted multiple times and sentenced to deportation, yet keeps coming back in illegally and endangering the lives of children, innocent people, etc., by driving drunk with no insurance, I'm sure. Do you really want, I said, I'm a very socially liberal person, but do you really want to be in the position where you're defending a multiple conviction illegal alien who regularly endangers the lives of innocents by driving drunk, while on top of it doing mental gymnastics to explain why a disheveled drunk is actually a political stunt? Maybe just accept that sometimes they get it right. And oh boy, did people get mad. They got mad at me. Maybe all of this is not true. He's been convicted multiple times. What due process does he do? He is coming in illegal multiple times. Oh, that's someone getting off on them. Now you care about the process. It's just people get mad and say stupid shit. But like I said, that I got a lot of shit for that comment. So you've got to, the whole point of that was choose your battles when you're defending people. If there's 50 people to choose from that have had their rights violated that you could be making a show of to try to garner public support. If there's like, let's say you got 3 people you're going to choose from that got harassed by ICE and mistreated and got their rights violated. You know, one of them's a minister that was out during the protest handing out water bottles to people. One was a little old lady who really cares about what she's taught, what's going on in her neighborhood. And she was just out there trying to be a conscientious observer, and she's got no bad history. And one of them's an illegal alien who's a pedophile. We've got several pedophile convictions. Which one are you going to put forward to make the person you're defending? It's not any one of them is equal to, no, be smart. But people aren't smart. Do you need the TV to fall asleep? I did. I used to have to absolutely have the TV to fall asleep. But after I got married, that lasted about 2 years, and I got told, no more TV in the bedroom. So what I have to have is a fan running and a white noise machine. So I always have a fan running and a white noise machine. In fact, we got competing white noise machines, one on each side of the bed. I try to make them sync with each other. Like if that one's on frogs, I'll do creek sounds and stuff over here. Or if that one's on whale song, I'll do ocean sounds. I try to make them coincide, but there's always 2 white noise machines and a fan going in the bedroom. Something used to be good to fall asleep to was, I used to love to fall asleep to the Cartoon Network because, I've seen all the cartoons 100 times. So it's nothing new that I had to pay attention to that would keep me alert. It was stuff I already knew what was happening. So I could just let it occupy my brain space without actually having to think about it. Let's see, where are we at? I think you lost subs because you said you would eat your neighbor if you ran out of food. People don't mind about that. It's because I said bad things about Chrissy Noam and other stuff, and I chastised them for always siding with the authoritarian view as long as it's attacking the right people. Because like I said, that picture I put up, that shows you how much reaction I got to that. Because I don't really do much on Instagram, and I don't got much of a following on Instagram. But that got a lot of response. And mostly from people in the gun community being pissed. Oh, yeah, you just want illegals to run free. That had nothing to do with what that is. You can't really have an argument, so you jump to that. It's like you see all the people flooding in to defend their positions. The ones that leave nasty comments, you see them flooding in to actually defend their positions. They don't. Just wondering your thoughts and impressions on the new Taurus TX9 series. I haven't even seen one in person yet, so I can't say much about them, but I'm looking forward to actually seeing one. Put Beretta 92 pins in the 1911 grips and 1911 pins on the Beretta 92 grips. What? Put Beretta 92 grips pins. I don't understand what he's saying. I don't have it in 1911 pins or Beretta pins. I got other characters. I wouldn't count your head as an appendage either, just a vestigial attachment. Well, I'm not saying my head. I'm saying my massive schlong. I thought people would get that. Let's see here. Shut up. You don't know. And if you do know, you shouldn't be telling nobody nothing. That was a secret between us. If you were ever diagnosed with dementia or Alzheimer's, would you just hang on till you don't know who you are or walk out into the woods and end it? Well, probably will walk out into the woods and end it eventually anyway, but accidentally. But if I was diagnosed with it, I'd look into death with dignity. Of course, you'd lose a lot of life because the early stages is the worst part. Once you get into the bad parts, I might just stick it out. Because I have told my kids that every time they do something piss me off, I'm like, that's it. Every time you piss me off, that's one more time I'm going to take my pants off and shit on the couch when you're taking care of me when I'm older. I'm going to roam around, no pants on, and just shit where I'm sitting. And if I get dementia, I probably can do that and get away with it. So I'll be someone else's problem. And I'll have moments of clarity sometimes where I'll be like, I shit on your couch. Good. You're entitled to your opinions on any politician. Why is it that so difficult for so many people to accept? And why does anybody like any politician? That's what I find hard to accept. Why is this guy your guy? Why is politics all a swamp except for this guy? I love this guy. He's awesome. He's playing the same game everybody else is playing. That's like saying, oh, you know what? I hate all that. I hate that NAMBLA or whatever it's called. Is it NAMBLA? Something like that, the pedophile group. I hate that group. Well, except for this guy, he's awesome. That's the same thing with saying there's a politician you like. I don't get it. And now it's even more like that because they all fucking pedophiles are pedophile protectors. Nothing old men like more than 12-year-old girls, apparently. Or 15-year-old girls, which there is a difference. People got all over, what's her name? The newscaster. Where she was like, oh, she's defending pedophiles by saying going out with having sex with a 17-year-old isn't the same as having sex with a 12-year-old. Well, no, she was actually making a true scientific statement as clarifying that a 25 or 30-year-old man having sex with a 17-year-old isn't pedophilia. It's a May-December romance, but it's not pedophilia. That 17-year-old is prepubescent, or no, is post-pubescent. They are sexually mature and would have been considered totally normal 50 years ago. Although I don't use that as a mark, because at one point it was normal to have houseboys and stuff. But that's not pedophilia. She's fully sexually mature. She's just young and arbitrarily labeled off limits by current laws. I'm not saying it's wrong. It's just arbitrary. Having sex with a 12-year-old who's prepubescent, that's pedophilia. So the distinction she was making is that having sex with someone who's just legally off limits but sexually mature is not the same as being attracted to someone who's prepubescent. Prepubescence is kind of required for it to be pedophilia. Otherwise, it's just creepy old man doing illegal shit. He's just a lawbreaker and gross. But she got a lot of trouble for that, but she was right. Let's see here. What do we got coming in? I think that might be all, and we're out of time. Ordered your Rhino 44 Magnum yet? I haven't seen anywhere where you could order them. Might move to Washington. Good jobs outdoors and less anti-gun than Massachusetts. Hate that state's name. I like it. It's nice here. The outdoors are nice. And I live in the woods, so it's nice here. And there's stuff if you need something, everything's available. There's culture if you want to see plays and concerts and stuff like that. There's all kinds of stuff to go do. There's scenic railways and riverboat tours and jet boats and waterfalls, and all kinds of stuff to do. When you got guests in from out of town, of course, I don't do any of that shit when it's just us. Like we got a friend of ours that, remember, we took her to the Haystack Rock, and she's like, "You all are so lucky that you can come out here every time you want." And I'm like, "Well, you've been out here as many times as we have, because we only come out when you come. So we don't really take advantage of it, but there is a lot of stuff here to do." We'll be doing the drawing here in just a second. Let me go over and count up the entrants. And we'll be doing a drawing for the set of grips. I think I got everything, I should say. And let me count. Let me add it up on my computing machine here, my calculating thing. Jim March, just what did he do? Where's that at? Oh, Jim March sent me something about his gunny one. I thought that might be on. What's the thing we have? Not Reddit. The one where people can go talk. I want to say Domingo. That's not right. What's that thing called that we have? Not Reddit. Where you all can go and talk to each other when I'm not on the air. It's like I got it blocked and I can see it almost, but I can't get it. I don't know what it's called. Discord. That's what it is. I thought maybe that was on the Discord, but it's not. Let me go to my computing machine here, my calculating device, and let me add these all up. All right, 61. We got 61. Remember when we would have like 125 entries and stuff? Now it's 61. All right, so let's go over. And it's not 61 times $5, because most of these people, they get it, because it's 3 for $10 and 7 for 20. And it's even if you do 50, you get like 20 entries. So it goes down it averages out about $2 an entry. But let's go over and generate a random number. Between 1 and 61. Generate 38. All right, so 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. 46 would be Edgar Cortez. Edgar Cortez is the winner. However, I don't know if Edgar Cortez wants to win, because he often tells me not to put him on lists, but I didn't. But I put him on the list today anyway when he donated. So if for something he's wanting, well, he won, and he gets to choose something. If not, if Edgar Cortez doesn't want to be in the running, he needs to let me know, and I will draw again tomorrow for this drawing. Because, like I said, I don't know if Edgar Cortez wants to be entered. He usually tells me I don't want anything, but we will see. Maybe there's a set of grips up he liked, and that's why I donated today. I don't know, but we will see. But Edgar Cortez is the winner. Riley Gaines says people who defend men in women's sports are misogynists. I don't know how that works. I think that would be I'm not sure that's true. I think they're wrong. I don't like men participating in women's sports, and I don't understand why it's wrong to say that. And when it comes to transsexual people competing in female sports, now if it's the other way around, if it's a woman to man competing in men's sports, more power to them. Good luck. Hope you do well. But if it's a man competing in female sports, because there is such a big advantage to having that Y chromosome, shouldn't be allowed. It stomps all over the hopes and dreams of these women who have trained their whole life to do a certain thing when some guy comes in, especially when they still have their penis and testicles. Because that's another thing that you don't hear about a lot of these guys that want to compete as women. They're still men physically and chromosomally. They haven't done anything other than put on a leotard and grow their hair long a lot of the time. So that definitely shouldn't be allowed. And they're always like, well, but what about if they've been a woman for 5 years and they're taking the drugs and they're already, now they're just presenting like a regular woman? No, it's just too much effort to go to for something that's so small and so meaningless. Sports aren't important in the first place. And if someone is transgender and they're like, I want to be a woman, I think, well, if society says, and they should say, that's fine. You choose your pronouns, you choose whatever you want to live your life as, we'll respect that. Also, if you want to have the surgery and be a woman, we'll respect that. As long as we do that, they're not entitled to anything else. They're not entitled to compete as a woman, especially not if these private organizations say, no, not in our organization, because transsexual is not a protected status. Identifying as a woman is not a protected status. So they have every right to say no men competing against women. And the way they could judge it, if you have a Y chromosome, you don't get to compete against women. I got no problem with that. I don't think how they're entitled to it. They don't get to say, oh, but I wanted to train to be a swimmer all my life. And now that I've done this and I live in my truth, they won't let me compete. No, they won't let you compete because you're a man wanting to compete against women. You're biologically a man. You can be a woman all you want, but you're not female. You can be a woman, and I'll say, yeah, you're a woman. I'll call you ma'am. I'll call you she. I'll call you whatever. I'll call you, Puddingtane if you want me to. But you're still not genetically a female. And that's what it should be, the requirement to be competing in women's sports. Otherwise, being unfair to this one person who got to live their truth but doesn't get to go from being, 740th in the men's competition to number 1 in the women's. Being unfair to them is such a tiny little thing when you're accepting everything else about them compared to being unfair to all the women they would compete against. So if you got a Y chromosome, you can't compete in female sports, and I'm fully okay with that. Now, I am old and set in my ways, so maybe I'm wrong, but that's how I feel about it. QJBHI says, got my first CCW Python 4 1/4 inch matte gray. Matte gray. Oh, that's right. They did those, didn't they? I don't have one of the matte gray ones. That's pretty cool. I want one of the matte black 2.5 inch Pythons. But yeah, that's a nice first carry gun. That's your first CCW? Well, you suck. Why do you get to have such a nice first CCW? I carried like a raven. So, and then I bought myself a Taurus revolver, a little 22 Magnum Taurus. Before that, like a raven. So, fancy dancy. But thanks everybody for coming today. I appreciate it. I will see you all tomorrow. Until then, remember, always carry and stay safe until I see you again. Please hit that like button and share this video on whatever social media you have. Since this is a restricted channel, you're the only chance we have to overcome YouTube's anti-2A bias and discrimination.